Oladimeji, Fabiyi, I don't know if you've been following the conversation in the studio and would want to react, but we'll thank you for joining us on the program this morning. You still can't hear us, it seems.
Yes, I can hear you, but I've not heard all the previous conversation. I couldn't hear those previous conversations, but I can hear you now.
Okay. Okay, so Mr. Shagun Seriki, okay, Prince.
Yes, please.
Prince Shagun Seriki here
Prince of Ijebu.
has been saying that the manner in which the party is handling, he's been reacting to the manner in which the party is handling the presidential campaigns and also the matters with regards to Wike and his allies. He has said it could have been better handled, so to speak.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm happy to be on TVC today, and good morning, Nigerians.
Morning.
The first thing I'd like to say is that PDP is lucky to have a presidential candidate that just not only known his onions, but highly experienced when it comes to high-level politics or politicking. And nobody will take it away from Atiku, his experience, his capacity, and what he can do when it comes to managing issues. The Atiku that I know is committed to peace and unity of the party, and even the peace and unity of Nigeria. And then he understands the value of going into an election united. So the issue, as we speak, you can't run away from this in politics, especially when you get to the election cycle. The party, on the other hand, when you look at the leadership of the party, right from the NWC to NEC members and all that, even the caucus and the board of trustees, you'll see that these are people that have gone through the rudiments of party politics. That you can't run away from the fact that you can always have crisis in any political party. So for the way and manner the party has handled, I think the party has done quite well because a lot of latitude has been given, there's been reaching out, there have been conversation, there have been engagement. It would have been a different case if the party had not engaged at all, or if the candidate of the party has not encouraged engagement. For me, it's an ongoing process, and we can see where we have gone. About 2 weeks ago in Enugu, the governors with Wike met, and they discussed serious issues that affect the party. These are guys that I understand quite well that will not leave the party because they are critical stakeholders. Like I said, it's an ongoing process. And what I can actually say as a fact is that Wike and Co will not leave the party and they will not work against the party. And what do you say to a governor who is running for Senate, governor of Enugu, working against the party whose election is the same day with that of the candidate, of the presidential candidate? Ditto the governor of Benue State, Otob. Governor Shemakde is equally running an election. So all of these guys are members, are people who understand.
Mr. Fabiyi, you would agree with me that the issue is not about leaving the party. It is about ensuring the rule of law, equity, justice, and fairness. That is what Wike has spoken about.
In as much as I would not really like to dwell on that, because if we talk about rule of law, what is the genesis of this matter? We had a presidential election that was adjudged best, free, fair, and we have a candidate that emerged, and we have the vice presidential candidate that emerged. That's not correct. That does not invalidate, that does not in any way negatively affect the application of rule of law in that election. If we talk of justice and fairness, I think the party and Atiku largely has been very, very, they've taken lots of cognizance about this, and they've been operating on that line. And what do I mean by this is, where is the injustice? When you refuse to violate the principles and the provision of your constitution. The constitution is very clear, the constitution of the PDP is very clear on how its matters should be managed. And I've not seen any violation here. Most of all of these things that we're calling crisis, we are seeing as crisis today, are just personal issues. And then I've always told anybody who cares to listen that I am not one of those who want to toe the line of the fact that this is between South and North. South and North. It's not. PDP has its constitution, it has its rules that it uses to manage its affairs. So I've not seen, unless you want to tell me where there have been violation of justice in all of these processes, then I would like to respond to that.
All
That
right.
there's not been any injustice.
Prince
Yes,
Seriki
as far as
wants,
I'm concerned.
our guest in the studio, Prince Seriki, wants to react to some of the things you have mentioned.
Yeah,
right.
Thank you, moderator. You see, let me come honest from the beginning. I'm going to react to these issues fundamentally as a Nigerian who happens to be a PD stalwart. I'm not a career politician. I believe in oneness of Nigeria, a united Nigeria, in prosperity with fair opportunities for all concerned. Having said that, I disagree enormously with what you say. You see, we tend to personalize issues and exploit our areas of seeming comparative advantage, not knowing at the end of the day, we are going to pay dearly for it. I'm a founding member of PDP. We founded this party. I was part of the processes from Hussein Center with Vice President Atiku Abubakar. We have been long-standing allies to him. And he led us in the Yaradua group vis-a-vis then to Bolingo. We struggled and we formed this party. Those managing this party are at miss of the fundamentals that brought us to form the party. And the key fundamental is that there is mutual mistrust between the North and the South. Unfortunately, over the years, we have not been able to completely mend that doubts. So be that as it may, that is why even Nigeria as a nation has Federal Character Commission. That is why PDP as a party, because the formation of PDP was like a mini national conference at the inception. And that's why we put rotation there. Yes, giving everybody has the rights to contest, and everybody have interpretations that might become realistic. I agree with the interpretation of the Vice President Atiku Abubakar that he is entitled to run, which is a fundamental right as provided by the Constitution, so he has exercised it. He also educated the party and carried the leadership along that, look, if Buhari is a northerner, but that's not a PDP government. The last PDP government was a southerner, which is also logical. So we bought into all those ones. And in the process, none of the parties agreed that at a particular point in time, we are going to emulate what Nigerians are accusing Buhari of being nepotic by being a fundamentally a northern scenario. We never sought to do that. So Ayu, with his eminence, impeccable credentials, on his own, said, don't let us argue. We cannot predict the outcome of this election. A southerner could have won, which is possible. A northerner could have won, which is also possible. As it turned out, a northerner has won. It's no more an hypothesis. The next thing to do, incredible climb, is on their own without prompting. For Ayu is not adding collateral advantage to the candidature of Atiku Abubakar to the level of these damages. It happened in 1999. Founding chairman of this party, when we started, was Vice President Alex Ekweme. So when he decided to run, then why didn't they take a southerner as a chairman? It is illogical. That's why we are Baba Solomon La. You see, we should live up to the standard of eminence we aspire to. All that is happening in national now is music change. Yeah, just make it, I don't know, I'm not close to Wike. I don't know him. But the most logical presentation was presented by Shibode George. He said, let us be honest with each other. We cannot force on Nigeria a status we have not reached. The situation of Nigeria is that there is a northern tendency, there is a southern tendency. It's fundamental. So if we now, and the unfortunate thing, people are alluding a lot of excuses to the fact that they can just continue. Yes, I believe also, if they continue like they are doing, they might win election. But that's not the issue. You can win election and not be eminent about it. Any election that is won with substantial deprivation of the interests of the South will lead to agitations. So you see, these are issues that goes beyond just business-like to capture the Commonwealth. You must do what is right, so that people will anticipate. You see, when he was saying the presidential candidate cannot be Northerner and the chairman can be, he was talking sense. There is a provision in the Constitution that says the national caucus shall be chaired by the national chairman. So what are we working to achieve? The moment we become the president, so we just sit down in the south and be looking for what they will say.
Yeah, I think I want the
Fabiyi, Mr. Fabiyi.
They are fundamental. Nobody is talking about credential of Atiku. Atiku is very qualified.
Because Mr. Fabiyi, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
You heard what he said, and that the issue is fundamentally an issue of trust between the North and the South, and an issue of abiding by
agreements.
What you have agreed to. The chairman of your campaign council, hold on, the chairman of your campaign council, the governor of Akwa Ibom, the gentleman Udom Emmanuel, once said in an interview, he said, and he was referring to a place in the Bible, he said, all things are lawful, but all things are not expedient. I think he was referring to 1 Corinthians 6:12, where he says that Atiku has been saying that, we cannot remove him because to remove him is not in consonance with the constitution of the party. But he still knew the constitution of the party when he was running for president, and he knew that if he ran for president, he was going to have a Northerner as also the party chairman. So he cannot be wise after the fact.
I think I totally. Can I go on now?
Go on.
That's so good. I think I totally disagree with the last speaker, because Atiku was only exercising his rights under the Constitution. See, as long as we try to evade or to run away from the provision of the Constitution, either of Nigeria or of the party, we'll continue to run into a problem. We'll create more constitutional problem. And that is my take on that. Let me quickly address some of the issues my brother Prince said there. What is the crux of all of this matter? Is for just because some people felt national chairman made a statement and he should resign. I think for me, the party has moved beyond that. I'm happy Prince is a member of PDP, and I will not sit here as a member of PDP who has equally been with the party since its inception, who has served in so many capacities of the
Mr.
party.
Fabiyi, the member PDP Presidential Campaign Council, speaking or reacting to a question that you passed to him. Perhaps you can continue the line of thoughts you were speaking on before we went on the break.
Well, thank you very much. My simple statement was that all these are constitutional matter, and we shouldn't give it any other coloration that is outside the Constitution. It was very clear. The chairman of the party will definitely step down, after the election. PDP cannot take that risk of removing the national chairman a few months to the election, especially when a lot of process has to be followed. We cannot afford to conduct a special national convention now to remove the national chairman before the election. So, and the candidate of the party made this abundantly clear that it's a constitutional matter. Whatever is the conversation between two people is not binding on the party, because there are processes. We have stakeholders. We have structures, levels of structures that takes on about, when it comes to party matter. This is the crux of the matter, and I don't think I will not be here and agree with anyone that is trying to make.
Mr. Fabiyi, if you can unmute, right? Are you done? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead.
So what I'm saying is that PDP cannot take that risk now, because we are facing an election in the next few months. And we cannot continue to say we are moving the chairman out of the now. No. It's really going to work against the party. As a person who has been in party for a long, I've participated in many of the party activities since 1999, and then I understand these dynamics very well. And I think my brother there, Prince, yes, it made a whole lot of sense, but we have to be sensitive to issues.
I want to quickly cut into your line of thoughts because I'm wondering how much of a risk it is not having the buy-in of about 5 states to asking the PDP, this person, Ayu, to step aside. Isn't that a bigger risk for the party, not having 5 states, the support of 5 states?
I don't want to agree that PDP does not have the support of 5 states. The fact that we have governors there does not make it that we don't have support of 5 states. See, in every state of this country, don't forget, PDP is well entrenched in any state. And no matter how anybody feels, if I say because I'm a governor in my state, it means that everybody will follow. No, not everybody will follow. In Adamawa, some people will not vote for Atiku. In Adamawa, in Lagos, some people will not vote for Tinubu. So this is the way it is. We shouldn't take it this way, and I disagree with that. See, PDP has original members in each of the states that whatever happens, they will follow their party. They will follow the decision of their party. Yes, we have the governors who controls everything because of the way politics is configured, but it does not mean that PDP will not have its share of the membership of this member of the society who vote for it. So remember, we equally have people who are undecided. Who will be looking at the bigger picture, who will be looking at the president, who will be looking at who is coming to be the president that will take decisions that will affect their lives. So for me, that is not it. It's a matter of getting it right, and that's what PDP is essentially doing. We need to get this thing.
Hello, Fabiyi. I'm sure you're aware that the party has asked Ibori and Co to go and beg Wike so that he can reconcile. And then you guys started off your campaign rallies in Uyo as if the campaign has started, and now you have used another expression to say, okay, you're holding it off to resolve some issues, and Wike is at the center of it. Are you not living in denial?
It's not about living in denial. What you do not understand is, let me make this clear to you. Reconciliation is an ongoing process. And if there's anything I'm so certain is that the presidential candidate has not foreclosed any reconciliation moves effort to be made. And the party is equally doing that. The party is doing its own. And it's one of those things, is normal for any leader who understands who understand the value of going to election united, will do. So it's not, they're not going to foreclose, and I don't know where that is coming from, that the election was, the campaign was halted because of Governor Wike. I'm a member of PCC, and that has not been communicated to me. And in any case, even if that happens, what is wrong? What is wrong with it? Wike and every other person, like every other person, is a serious stakeholder in this party, and the party that wants to go into election united will make every effort to make sure that he close ranks with his people and brings everybody together. So what is wrong in that? If campaign is halted to accommodate people who were not happy, to talk to people, to still engage you are not happy, I don't think anything is wrong in that. So nobody should take that as being working. I don't know I've forgotten the term you used. So that is not. It's an ongoing process. It's reconciliation. It's bringing everybody together so that we can go into election as a united family, which is normal.
Right.
There's nothing bad about that.
We're looking at the crisis in the PDP at the national level, and we have had a member of the PDP Presidential Campaign Council, Oladimeji Fabiyi, speaking with us. And in the studio, we have Prince Segun Seriki, who would like to react to some of the things that Mr. Fabiyi had mentioned.
Thank you. Actually, I disagree substantially with the positions he's trying to say. And I want us to be sincere with our party, to be sincere with ourselves. I'm a friend of Atiku Abubakar. I wish the former Vice President well. And those who are talking about constitutionality, they are not facing the issue. If Atiku said it's a constitutional matter, he is sending it back to the National Executive Committee for them to brainstorm and do what is right. And we tend to put too much pressure burning on tendency to be dictatorial on our leaders. I think we could have done more than he has been doing, but I might also advise him to do more because he had been part of the process when we founded this party. He is aware of the issues mistrust within North and the South created. And he is one of the major bridge builders between the North and the South. He knows it exists. Otherwise, there won't be need for an Atiku Abubakar that a lot of us love, despite being in the South. So if that is the situation, there has been a constitutional issue that before this one that was resolved. The constitutional issue of rotation is fundamental to PDP. We are about the only party that put rotation in our constitution.
But if Ab initio, he fought against the idea of rotation when he wanted to run.
No,
when they ran in 2019,
yeah.
It was all northern candidates that ran in 2019.
All northern candidates.
It was a northern candidate in Port Harcourt, your convention.
Yes,
yes, it was northern because it believes that at that time it belonged to the north.
It belonged to the north.
And then it came this time around. He said they should open it to it's open. Remember, as Wike himself said.
We need to be frank. You see, I think the North are more sophisticated politically than the Southerners in Nigeria. And it's unfortunate. And that's from the template that I said I give credence to Shibode George for his credible position, and I tend to buy into Wike's position. We cannot do politics by cringing in anticipation of favors. We should be able to be entitled to certain basic things. Otherwise, we serve no purpose being there. Having said that, I'd wanted to make it clear that this issue of rotation, as you have stated, they are fundamental to PDP. A lot of people are copying it. And we copied it from Nigeria that instituted federal character. Having come this far, I can't see the collateral advantage Iyorchia and Ayu chairmanship will confer on the candidature of Atiku as much as the collateral damages.
It is said that the original sin was committed by the fact that you even have northern candidates like Atiku, because even the southern governors had agreed in
Asaba
that everything should come south.
The truth of the matter is that the southern PDP governors are in error.
Exactly.
They are behaving like boys, except few of them that are standing. They are behaving like boys in big man's shoe. Because if you take a position, and get me very clearly, please, if you take a position that you want the southern presidency, which in itself, in the context of PDP, was a tall order, because we didn't quite have much of choices of southern candidates.
Gravitas. Nobody with gravitas.
No. That is the reality.
You create the gravitas.
But I appreciate Wike for an attempt to create the gravitas.
You create the gravitas.
Having attempted and having failed to the established gravity, there is a way in corporate management that the minority shareholders are fundamentally moving the party, the company forward.
Exactly.
That is the position PDP has got.
The PDP governors failed to create the gravitas.
Whoever is justifying PDP, that's why I said, even if some people feel Atiku can win minus the South, they are diminishing the position he has reached. They are restricting him into an enclave that he has gone beyond. He needs to come out.
He himself has not gone beyond it. That's the problem.
Yes.
If he has, he shouldn't have even run. Because he knew that he had a chairman who was a northerner, and if he ran and he won, he knew that this problem was coming. So
that was where the agreement.
He is the original sin.
They had an agreement prior to that.
That's where the agreement. Because
but why did he not abide by the agreement? Why did he not?
That is why I said.
Why did he not make a push for him to come to?
Disappointed in the national chairman for allowing this thing to become an issue.
And you are not disappointed in Atiku?
Not really.
Why not?
Because
Atiku is the problem.
No.
But
Atiku,
he made an agreement. He had an agreement.
Did not run. Atiku did not who have this problem.
The truth of the matter is that Atiku, his eminence overwhelmed the process. Because when you come to a meeting with a standpoint, it was just like when we formed this party. We had an agreement that whoever doesn't win his ward will not be able to contest. But when the enormity of the support behind Obasanjo came, the Ekweme people cannot withstand that force. So we had to change the rules. When Atiku came, things cannot be as usual.
That means the man was bigger than the law.
No, not bigger than the law. The man was big enough to create a convention that is lawful.
You agree with me? You agree with me that the man himself is the law? The article was the law. And now the law has now told him that the law is more than article.
If you want to glorify him, limit it to what will be credible. Don't glorify Atiku Abubakar.
He has glorified himself. He has glorified himself.
Let me just clear certain things.
Yes.
But we can have said there was an agreement.
I, as a person,
yes,
I feel bad that we are going to present a northern outlook to the PDP that was originally created as a Nigerian outlook.
Thank you. You agree with what I've...
And anybody that for ease of exigency thinks they can win this election, they are missing the bigger picture. If they lose this election, it's going to be worse. If they win this election, it's not going to be honorable. Because a lot of people will address that government with suspicion.
Well, they want victory over honor.
Let's get Mr.
That's what they're
Fabiyi's,
telling you. They want victory over honor.
Oh, you want Ayu to resign?
Absolutely. That's all I've been saying all along.
All right, let's get Mr. Fabiyi's perhaps contribution to this matter from Mr. Prince Seriki now. He has said that Ayu should resign and that if they win, it's not going to be honorable. If they lose, it's going to be worse. What's your reaction?
Sincerely speaking, I don't know where that is coming from. Number one, like I said, I don't see reason why Ayu should resign now. Number two, in contrast to what Mr. Omase said, Atiku is not the law. I have to make this abundantly clear. Atiku does not own the party. Atiku is a member, is one person, like every other person in the party. He may have influence, but he does not control the machinery of the party. We need to get this clear, and we should stop doing, saying this on the national television. For me, I think Atiku has been fair enough in this matter, and anybody who places all of this at the doorstep of Atiku is not being fair to Atiku. The position of Atiku has been very clear. He's a man who respects the law, who respects the constitution, who respects the rule that guides anything he does. We see Atiku fought hard for this democracy. Even when he was in government with his boss, he went to court so many times to make sure that our democracy is enriched. So for Atiku, he's not a lawbreaker. So and he does that doesn't because he is allowing the party to play the role the party is supposed to play. The party is supreme over every individual that has signed on to be a member of the party. So nobody should place this on the doorstep of Atiku. Atiku is still engaging, is still talking to people. And for Prince Seriki, I find it difficult because one is a member of my party. Two, I learned he's running for election. He's entitled to his own opinion. But something must be clear here. PDP has a very rich history. And then we've gone through thin and thick in this country to get to where we are. Regardless of how anybody feels, I think we must be able to look at every issue very, very dispassionately. I want my party to win this election. I want Nigeria to progress. And I want Nigeria to be united under one umbrella so that we can make meaningful development. It is equally important that there are some leaders in our party, that for me, I do not expect them. I expected them to play that fatherly role. I do not expect them to begin to take side and be finding more embers of discord in the party.
Mr. Fabiyi, Prince Seriki wants to ask you a question.
Fabiyi,
go ahead and ask the question.
Fabiyi, please, I want to ask you how you feel as a Southerner that the PDP is purely northern in leadership and in contest. How do you feel?
How is it northern in leadership?
It's northern in leadership by, I'll explain to you. It's northern in leadership by the chairmanship, It's not a leadership by context. And that's, I want to juxtapose you, I want you to juxtapose it in the context of what Bode George was saying. That look, this thing is about.
I do not share the sentiment. Let me tell you something.
You don't share it, okay.
I do not share the sentiment of Chief Bode George.
Okay.
I do not share the sentiment of Chief Bode George.
What is your own sentiment?
Let's follow the word.
So let us just walk, and then we will be fairly treated.
The sentiment of Chief Bode George is personal, and everybody knows that one. He's my leader.
Personal.
I respect him.
It's not personal.
Is personal. Yes, it's not. It does not. We violate the caution of our party.
No.
What we are saying is,
Fabiyi, you are talking at the risk of some people thinking you are personal in anticipation of favors. You understand what I'm saying?
In any case,
the way you are talking at the risk of some people thinking you are personal in anticipation of a favor. As by chance, maybe PDP will just win, and then you will be the front line of whatever. No, that's not correct. You are not talking about the issues.
This is an assumption.
This is an
assumption that anybody.
Your statement is an assumption.
Yes, assumption upon assumptions.
Okay.
We should face reality. That's what I was saying. It didn't take us a long time for us to change Ekweme. In 1999, it didn't take us a long time to change Ekweme.
I wonder when you guys say that you want...
Yes,
please. 1 minute.
Your final statement, Mr. Fabiyi.
1 minute.
Yes, 1 minute.
Thank you very much.
Is your comment on Bode George?
His final statement, yes.
I understand, and I understand your passion, and we don't always have to agree with each other. You hold on to your views, I hold on to my views.
I respect it.
But let me tell you something. What the position of the party is supreme, regardless of how anybody feels. And I'm happy to be a member of the people.
Okay, and that's a fine place to leave it with you, Mr. Fabiyi. We need to run. Our time is up.
Yes.
Quickly, in seconds.
I don't think it should it shouldn't be talking about party supremacy in favor of people who would ordinarily pursue their own aspirations.
All right, we must thank you, gentlemen, Ogun State PDP leader and senatorial candidate, Prince Sheku Seriki, and member PDP Presidential Campaign Council, Oladimeji Fabiyi. Gentlemen, we must thank you, and thank you everyone for being part of the show. But let's let you know that the views and reaction of our resource persons are theirs and have no connection with TVC News. Bye for now.